Okay, team. Hey, what's up going on, guys? I just wanted to make this quick video about, I guess, the topic of the market, what's been happening from my perspective and in my opinion. So we're gonna kind of focus in that situation right now and see what's going on here because I'm noticing, a weird kind of pattern here, but it's not let's just say that we haven't seen it before, but but the way Mark is acting. So overall, let's start off by explaining pretty much what's going on. The market, it's dropping. Bulls are losing. There's a lot of going on that a lot of tickers are mimicking a drop based on the who struggling of SPI. SPI is pretty much an index that it mimics Dow Jones and then other big companies where it's combined into one, which is McDonald's, Home Depot, and so on and so on. So, um, to pretty much explain the situation here between SPI, we're just gonna have kind of say that the market it's been downtrending and a lot of tickers has been downtrending, creating pretty much accounts negative. And looking at SPI, this thing is still flushing, but it's okay to keep flushing through after hours because it makes a gap fill or it makes a gap potential for what next day. And what does next day happens or it creates a potential bullish run, especially if it creates that gap in between after hours and pre-market. So overall, you're gonna notice that today short setup, easy short setup, dips, ups, and then heat runs BWAP and then goes back down. Heat runs test BWAP and then completely a short setup for lower lows at the end of the day. So if you wanted to go with calls, I would have been fine attacking the setups. But overall, like I said, this thing was already in a huge amount of heat in the gap fill. So last time we had a gap, but this is what sometimes you're gonna have so many confusions of what happened here and between what happened here. So I'm not trying to make this video so long. I just want to explain to you what's been happening with SPI real quick and what's been happening with other tickers. And then I'm gonna put it down, I'm gonna put it down in the video and then post it up today tonight for you guys to watch. So overall, SPI is at 380. And you're gonna see that it depends on how it open or holds the gap. Last time he did a gap, he held. This time he had once he broke the gap, or at least the way it opened the gap up, it was holding pretty strong. But then he broke, eventually started shorting down the heat. Now, why was there a difference here between the last gap and this gap? You're gonna notice here this time you have a 1 hour that ran heat. This time you had a 1 hour that was on heat already by the gap. This one was really, it was already on heat as well. But then if you go back to lower, high time frames, you're gonna notice here that this gap 4 hours was on reset. This time the gap fill 4 hours was on heat. So meaning that you had a potential to come down, and which is fine. You can eventually do a double bottom. So the story here with SPI, and this is why my prediction is, or what I want, expected from it at least. And why SPI matters to me. SPI pretty much is a lot of tickers here that follow SPI and mimic SPI based on the market leaders. These are the market leaders. The market leaders are, we're talking about SPI, Dow Jones, but I follow SPI because it's a lower price. Telsa, Neo, Amazon, all these nice big companies. I don't follow Walmart or so on and so on and so on like that. I just kind of follow tickers, especially the ones that are gone long term. So long story short, we're talking about Telsa, Amazon, where's in SPI, Roku, Apple, and you got some other ones that other people look into. So market leaders, SPI, overall, McDonald's, all of these big companies are combining to one price action. How well they are doing, and that's how price is intended to kind of match that price of where they're trading, how bad they're doing. If they're doing bad, they're going to downtrend. SPI is going downtrend. If the companies are bullish, running bullish, being bought, SPI will run bullish. It's just, it's like a combination of many companies combining to one price that should be, it pushes price up. So long story short is SPI. My prediction for SPI, like I said, I want to make a short video here, and this is what happened today. It was all based on setup. Setup meaning that you're going to notice that eventually here, daily still setting up. It has done many ways zigzags. So this zigzag failed when? It failed when it pretty much dropped 385. This is the drop. Once it dropped 385, you can kind of see that it came down to the gap and eventually started fading down. Once, I'm sorry, that K cross D, that shows the potential to keep who being a bearish for when the whole day. Why? Because 4 hours was, eventually going to bring down K on daily. As much as 4 hours would to come down to a reset, and that's how daily eventually going to find that zigzag to go back up. So tomorrow we're going to probably end up finding a nice little bounce to either 385, that's one level. If we run a higher high of 390, then we're looking pretty much to win 392. That's if we run a higher high of 390. If we run a 392, expect a higher high, all times high. Now, why do I believe that there's a all-time high coming? We're going to pretty much go to daily here. Daily, there's a lot of consolidation. You're going to notice a lot of lines here because, I come from a long time. And so when I came here, we're going to notice a lot of selling, thick selling, right? And that's fine. Let it be selling because we had a bearish run. So what do we expect? We are expecting to eventually pull back. What I'm noticing here is this thickness in volume in the candles. There is a lot of transactions here that eventually this thing can, have to decide on what decision is. So based on my opinion, my prediction is that we are looking for all-time high, meaning over 395. And why is that? Because if we go deep down, you're going to notice here, D is still not on reset yet. This is a reset of full D, daily as well. We haven't had D. This intention of D, guess who that D is? I'm just going to show you real quick. But if we go to RSI, you're going to notice RSI is kind of deep. So what D is going to have that intention to come to who? And to an oversold. Because D unfed soul, you're going to notice that it's it's on, D unfed soul, you're going to notice that it's pretty much the RSI. Look at the D. You did this little zigzag and then, a little dance. Look at the time that it came to an oversold. Look at this little mode that goes downtrend. Let's go back to an RSI. Mode that goes downtrend, the oversold, and the little zigzag mode that FETSO D is doing. Now, what do we get as bonus with the FETSO? We get the price action. Price action means that K will be what's happening in the candles. So that's when when people are based on just RSI, their intentions in the RSI is intentions either downtrending, uptrending, oversold. Now it's my turn to go into an overbought. So pretty much to new traders, oversold, this overbought is the top, oversold is the bottom, reset is the bottom, heat is the top of the FETSO. So long story short, what I'm saying is eventually this D wants to find an oversold area. So what we're seeing is pretty much it's an area of coming where into the at least 375 and hold that area and potentially make a lower high of 389 or run at all-time highs. That's just all based on what the momentum here is doing on the FETSO. So based on the on the candles that we're watching now, you're going to see here why am I bullish and why we're expecting an all-time high. I know there's a lot of going on now, but what I'm saying is if we go back to monthly, look how monthly has been respecting K going up, respecting K and going up. So we're just pretty much expecting, this is monthly, by the way, it's every 1 month. You're gonna notice is you gotta buy monthly, so monthly, buy monthly, so monthly. So this so monthly, you're gonna notice here is where K is at on D. So eventually we're, as I mentioned many times, we're looking at one last time, all times highs of 4. So over 400, and then once it crosses 400, then it has the potential to kind of pull back. So now if we look back to yearly, quarterly, you're gonna notice that quarterly still has the potential to bounce off, off D, K can. So overall, there's a lot of buyers, strong buyers here. So we can still, like I said, still see an all-time high based on these time frames that are still being bullish. If we go back up, you're gonna notice that they're still bullish. You see how K is on D? This K on D can potentially means a last time bounce before it pulls back down. Because why? K on D matching K on D, who? A daily reset. Now remember, tomorrow we're going to get a 4 hours reset. The thing is that we're eventually going to have a bullish run again. So tomorrow can mean in many ways that eventually this week can go on sideways. Now, how does it affect these other tickers? So overall SPI, my opinion is all-time high, 395, which is fine because, like I said, we're gonna, if you focus in this area and you focus in this area candles, just so focus in this ending. You can notice if I start zooming in from here, you're not gonna predict what's happening in the front, right? So I'm gonna start zooming in a little bit, and you're gonna start noticing how it moves. Look how the momentum starts moving. It goes into heat, comes back down, goes into a reset mode, and then goes up again into a non-time. Oh, look, it runs heat. You see this? It runs heat right here, the same level as before. Look what it does. 380. Then it goes back down to 374. And then it creates another reset of daily. And guess what it does? All-time high. Again, 385. And then it goes into another reset mode. You see how much it fell here? Look at this fall here into this area. You're going to notice this fall goes up, double resets, and then all-time high again. So you look how long they stayed here. So overall, it's just all based on monthly and yearly. So we're going to go down here to a reset again. And we're looking pretty much at what? At another potential all-time high. Because look, you see how it's consolidating? It's doing the same kind of pattern. The only thing is that right now, there's a lot of more volume. I'm seeing a lot of more candles here in this action. So you're going to see like, we go down into a double bottom. And this is what we're happening now. We're going up, down, and then we go up again. And then we go down into a double bottom. That's just 4 hours. So now let's go to daily and do the same trick here. You see how it goes up and then it goes down. You just follow this. Oh my God, why is it moving? Just follow this price action here. You see how we find, once we start finding a bottom way, then it goes back up, all-time high. Then it starts to reset again. Look at this reset right here. Just to go to an all-time high again. And then what we're doing is finding another reset. But basically, like I said, monthly and quarter, we're going to eventually become an all-time high bullish mode. And this is just, potentially for all tickers, or help the tickers at least push. Now, let's go down to what the tickers is happening, or what's happening with them. So let me show you something real quick. And I'm going to explain something now. Many tickers are being pretty much bearish. There are failing in daily momentum, weekly momentum, monthly still bullish, weekly probably not. And with the daily resetting, while monthly K still over D, that is still has the long-term potential to be bullish. So let's go back here to our pre-market. And we're going to pretty much go look into tickers that we pretty much, have. So, for example, let's go to FETSO. Daily. You see how with daily, we're going to go in daily here. Okay, and then we're going to zoom out. Daily, reset. You're going to notice here the momentum on daily is resetting. This still has the potential to kind of what? Come back down still. Let's see what the RSI is at. Yep, it still has potential to come back more down, which is fine. Let it do its thing. So, now, what I like about Hetzo has a higher high potential. It has an intention of a higher high. Intention does not mean fly, to the moon. It means up, down, up, down. Eventually, yeah, it's going to bring down more than it's supposed to. When it goes back up, it can even become even stronger like it did once before. So, Hetzo, higher high potential is 340. That is the one higher high that I'm looking for. Like I said, daily is resetting, and that is fine. If we're looking for a potential, this thing is already trying to cover. You can see the weakness in the candles. of the daily. Weak candles, we can still get a higher low, I mean lower low, and that's fine. We still won't know how far it's going to get when it runs heat. What if run heat, you get a one candle and then two candles and a third candle higher high of 12, I mean of $2. So and then pre-market you won't even see this action. It eventually runs 350. So eventually, like I'm saying, be patient. This momentum, yes, it has gotten stuck before, but now the problem here is, let's go to monthly. You're gonna see a monthly is an oversold and it's in that lower low. Before, let's go zoom out right here. You're gonna notice in the lower low, it still has the potential to reverse this higher low. And run this higher low and eventually come back down. But the momentum here is strong to do that. And I'm gonna show you a ticker that did that I waited so long to do, but it put me in so much profit. But just waiting. This is 1 month. Let's go to weekly here. Look, I waited right here. I waited all this time. We're talking about from December to 2 months. To do what on me? To run me $7 by waiting, because an oversold, Even the daily, you're gonna notice here is the daily came into oversold so many times, reset it so many times. And this thing was so strong that it even put me in profit. The up, down, that's fine. You won't know where it could put you at if you don't wait the correction. And know it by candles, know it by, the oversold. So we're going to go back here to Hetzel. Hetzel meaning that we're talking about we have a monthly that is such an oversold for so long. What are the chances that this thing can even squeeze this high of $5? Eventually, you has the room. It's not like momentum. It's not like momentum is here. Look what it's done before. You get what I'm saying? It's gone from $14 to $100. So the chances here is high to run this, even this higher high, because in 1 month before it has gone from $3 to $8. I'm talking about the longer you consolidate this area. We're talking about that. This ticker has the potential to even run so much in 1 month, in 1 week, and 1 day. So that's the potential here. It's not why, because I'm sure that you can see probably the flow, it's slow, that is running so many times. Right now it's consolidating area, so we're gonna see 21 million float. It's pretty low. It's not that bad because it's a cheap ticker. It's a $1.16. Now we're gonna match all the resets here. Let's match it daily. You're gonna notice here, same thing, daily. So I'm gonna show you something, guys, that like I said, I don't want to make this video too long. We're gonna go back here. Oh, wrong one. Let me kind of see. Yes, yeah, okay. Yep, we're gonna show you here. Next PR. You're gonna see here, daily reset, downtrending before a lower low. That's fine. Let it keep trading. You don't know the correction. Let's go to monthly. Monthly, bullish, strong. Let's zoom out here. You're gonna notice all this line, but if I take out these lines, you're gonna notice here, what's the potential here? It's a higher high of what? Of 170. We're going to get that. Look at this, where it's at, where it's coming from. We're coming from the 28 area, and we're panicking on these falls. That is normal to do because it's holding what? A previous candle. It can come to 60 what? 66, and still has the potential to push again into a higher high. So, never be afraid of what it can do in 1 month here. Because if you can do this in what? In 1 month, is this quarterly? Yeah, that's monthly. If it came in 2 months from, to 36 to 89, and next month, and then it dropped to 62 to run 148, this candle could eventually what? Run the higher high. Right now, it's just consolidating that candle. So let's go back to the next one. Let's go to the next one here on the daily. Let's put our drawback. Okay, you're gonna notice same thing, daily reset, and this head to monthly in the oversold, quarterly in the oversold. This can mean so much. This can mean such a big pop eventually, right? Weekly still bullish. Let it do its thing. For right now, we still have the intention of a higher high of 2 something, or 240. I say 2 something. Let's go to staff. Staff, same pattern. Daily reset. You can see the cover going up, and there's a gap fill potential now of what? 115. This thing is ready to set up. And I'm gonna give you my favorite ticker of them all as well. So this thing can drop. Look where it came from. It came from 61 to run 148 just on one daily reset. What are the chances that thing can run, a higher high just one daily reset? Which is it can, because who? Let's go to monthly. Monthly still is barely setting up. Look how monthly is right. K on D. If daily is K on D, it's K. If daily is on reset, well, K is on D on monthly. That is, a nice little sign pattern that is saying that what? K could end up, boom, bouncing this D on the monthly. Let's go to weekly. Bearish, which is fine. You see how this is setting up right here? Look at this. This is a barely setting up right now. Look how bullish it is. It's starting to set up. This is a quarterly, which is fine. We're talking about it like in 6 months. This ticker can even do $5, $7. Even run a higher high of what? No, I don't think it will run that much. A higher high will probably be, look, this one attempt, and he's setting up again. So our next attempt will be over $4. That will be the highest, the potential here on the PT for staff. Not just long term. Okay, now let's go with this one. Look how bullish is the quarterly for BGL. Let's go to monthly. See how monthly K is on D? Let's go to daily. You know where Kaylee is matching? It's matching the reset. Let's zoom in here. And then let's zoom out. It still has a little room. But it also means that if we go back to monthly, you can see your K is on D. Quarterly still bullish. So this thing, that means that, these long terms, it can do whatever he wants right now. That in one reset, he can eventually just, whenever monthly, let's go to monthly real quick. Whenever monthly goes up into a higher high here mode, well, I think it really ran heat too. So that becomes a little issue, but it's fine. Daily, we won't know, like I said, until we run a bullish. But based on the market, okay, so this is why I know that BGO is pretty strong. The reason being that we had strong buyers. Market took a hit. And you look, buyers still even came strong. Look how long they held this price. The reason they probably gave up is because, okay, this thing has the intentions to go down. I'm not going to buy it right now. Let it go down. So that's what's happening right now. That's why we're not trying to average every position anymore. We're just letting it do its thing. Let it do its thing. Let it reset. And then we're going to see, what it does. Once we start seeing that the potential, it's coming down, and you can start seeing buyers sideways and the momentum starts shifting up, that's whenever you can start putting in, a good amount or averaging in. So you can probably bring your average in from, $12 to probably even 10. And you know that this ticker has run $10 easily. So let's go to another one. Bio, cool. Okay, Bio. We're gonna notice here, we're gonna zoom out. Momentum still looking, to correct. You're gonna notice here, it's still on the daily reset. Let's look where monthly is at. You see how monthly is still bullish? You see what it's done before? He's done this before. It's running before. So what I'm saying is we have even an attempt for a higher high. This is still bull flagging. It can still means if I bull flag this, let me give you a real quick. We can still kind of do this. You get what I'm saying? Like this. This is for Bill. Even like it can even come down to this. This can mean a bull flagging. And then when it comes down to a sharp turn, it goes boom, right? Because what? It has the potential of a higher. Look how many attempts we have here. Higher up 285. This ticker can get to 285. It has the momentum to do it. He hasn't run hit yet. We're talking about 97. He only had run to 67. Now, let's go to daily. Dailies, still bullish. It's following the market condition. The market drop or whatever the whole market is doing. Now let's go to the next one. Now remember, daily reset, downtrending, same pattern here. What I have shown you with the rest. On TX, you're gonna notice here, same pattern, downtrending. Look at momentum, downtrending. Now let's check monthly. You see monthly, same pattern, K over D. This thing has a high potential to even keep going even some more. People are panicking over this little candle here, guys. We cannot be panicking over this little candle drop here. This is even a setup to, potentially even keep pushing up to what? A higher high of what? We're talking about even a higher potential of $4 for 1TX. So long story short is, oh, sorry, I had to sneeze there. Long story short is a higher high of 3, 4, whenever he wants to run based on heat, or when he wants to do it NOD, after hours, pre-market, or MO, based on heat. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I gotta keep this. Okay, so long story short here, we're gonna go back here. So once, like I said, same matching. Okay, with D, daily resetting, monthly still bullish. And weekly can, yes, recover this. You can still recover and run bullish again. He has done it before. Look at this. He has run for 1 week, come down, and then he recovered again. So, like I said, long story short, he ran his gap, and then he has the potential to go down. Let's see if monthly has a gap fill. Nope, no gap fill. It actually was tradable. Okay, so, but that is reversing, right? The potential here, to write down monthly potential. So we cannot be scared over this daily reset that's happening here, because overall, take this chance here to what? To average, even sometimes if you can, not just average, play around with it for the day. Meaning that if he ends in a market, day drop, dip, exit whenever he pass market open or if he pass pre-market. Exit then. And then guess what? If he repeats the EOD drop again, dip and do it again. Now, if it drops, for example, MOD or market opening drops pretty heavy, dip and exit in the next 5 minutes heat, meaning that you pretty much exit in the next 30 minutes. You're not going to stay there for the rest of the day to look for a bigger move or to come back when you know that he won't because he's still setting up for a lower low. So take advantage of that. You don't have to sit around watching here and there. You can, go back and look over the patterns, what it's doing, when he's doing it, and then how he's doing it. So you can, eventually accumulate your loss. So you're never, even if it keeps dropping, you're still making profit. You're still, looking at the respect for that pattern. So that is something that I'll probably go over some other time. So let's go to our next one. SNDL, same thing. Look, reset, downtrending. Let's go to monthly. You see how monthly is still super strong, meaning that this thing can still, it can still come back up. It's at least to a higher high of what? 240, 250, potentially. Because look how bullish also this is. And this is attempting to come running higher high. Meaning that this thing can still run $6, $7 eventually over time. Now let's go to ACT. Now, my favorite one. If anyone stick around, you're gonna know why is this my favorite one? Because a gap. It has to run its gap. There's a huge gap here that I like, which is this. You see this beautiful gap? This will me here in this gap. You're gonna notice this gap. You're gonna notice this gap here. Look at this gap all the way to what? 170. And what are the chances think he even run $3 in a pre-market after hours? Good chance. But what I'm looking for, at least a higher high into what? 180. And I'm gonna keep it taking advantage of the dips, because I like this for the main reason that it doesn't, it has the gap fill, it has the potential, because if you go to daily still resetting beautifully, let it reset. It's resetting respectfully, so it's good. He respects daily, he's gonna respect your what? reset. It's going to respect your what? Uptrend. So, let it do its thing. Now let's go to monthly. You see a monthly barely starting? This is just a barely starting setup. We're talking about the monthly can eventually run what? It can run even all the way to, like I said, the price that I was just giving, $172, even to $3, which is all the way here. So for now, we're just, we're not trying to be greedy. We're just gonna look for the 130, 133 into the 190, even $2, depending if it's running us that bullish mode, midday, and AOD into after hours, and then pre-market, so on and so on. So a higher high potential here is, that. So even before, look at what he's done. He's done all this messy momentum before just to, run a higher high before. So overall, he can still do this type of candles. He has done messy candles. And then we're not going to say every candle is weak because, oh, look, he hasn't done this candle before. So he's showing weakness. No, he has done that candle before. He has done many wicks just to do it again, just to do it again, and to do it again. So this is a good long, like I said, long term to fish any tip or any dip that you pretty much get, so you can keep running into a bullish mode. But like I said, he has that gap fill in the weekly. This is my favorite one of them all. And monthly still being bullish, daily resetting is matching the pattern of still being bullish. I'm not even afraid of holding. Like I said, I'm just gonna take chances to redip. It has sold. Look at this channel that it was sold for, which is weekly. It sold for 2 weeks to run a higher high. I mean, it can drop this much just in 1 week, probably run a higher high. So we're not pretty much worried about that. So long story short, is even like TP is another one that I'm in. And then this is the same thing. The more I started kind of in this area of, I think it was 79. I started in the 79 area. And then I haven't pretty much added it some more, or haven't alerted of adding, because for the reason being that it was already showing red. I kind of like this green here, but I was like, okay, it goes red, and then it starts showing this red. It has potential for a lower low. I'm not going to mess with it just yet. I'm going to wait till at least comes down to the 50, 60 area. No, that's too low. Yep, I'm actually going to start focusing on tomorrow with it. Let's see what month. We see a monthly. Oh, yep. K is on D. You see this K on D? That has the potential for what? A higher high of what? Eventually running over 140. So this is another ticker that, it has the potential to match. K on D, daily reset, that's the perfect matchup for what? For more. If it's taking this long to run heat, what are the chances that daily could go boom and momentum is just barely here, and then, the price is already at 94? There's a good chance that this thing can consolidate some more and then go boom, and then consolidate some more and then go boom. You get what I'm saying? So long story short, it's all based on this monthly and how momentum is. So I wanted to show you guys how everything was matching. We had so many daily reset, we had so many downtrends, and there is more downtrends. If I go check you the market here, let's go back to your changes. You're gonna notice, look at this match. There was just some matching patterns. Oh, actually, you got your bullish. We see how rarely there were bullish momentums. Look how there was just rarely any bullish. Even if you go into this one, you go into this change, the only one is CDV, the one I actually alerted at 4:45. I alerted this. But now I alerted in chat. I just say, hey, look, a bullish ticker. And I brought it up, and he actually ran to 474. So it's a nice little profit. He constantly keep going up. So you're going to notice here the change. And then, oh, what is this one, man? I like this. But look how he's setting up. This is, you're going to make sure, pretty much saying that you catch up, you dip into end of day to what? To run profit next day, and then profit, and then runs down, EOD dip, and then go runs profit again. So if we go back to 15 minutes, you're going to notice end of day dip, end of day dip, runs profit next day. End of day dip, runs profit next day. So that's just what I'm, the matching price here for that. So yeah, guys, so that's why I kind of wanted to go. I wanted to make sure to tell you guys that SPI is still fine. Momentum, we're still, kind of in the reset, and many are still over bullish in the high time frames. Do not be worried about those tickers. We still has, okay, what I also showed you is potential for higher highs. Momentum, higher time frame, high time frames bullish. and also daily matching those big high time frame momentum where daily's resetting while K is on D on monthly, yearly, or quarterly installment. So weekly, you're gonna notice that many tickers even recover that weekly because K is still over D on monthly. So making it daily once it runs heats again or corrects, it makes weekly recover K on D, so it makes it bullish again. So long story short is market still, to me, in my opinion, should still run a higher high, all times high. Our tickers should still reverse, and we should still be looking into a higher high potential over time. Just don't dip yet. Wait for the right times. Let it find floor. When we start having a constantly full run, just know that if we waited this long, and this is something for everyone that waited it too, this is gonna be an important tip. If we waited this long, and out of nowhere, a ticker wants to run, one of the ticker wants to run bullish at midday or market open and hold BWAP and then wants to run a higher high, that is a chance to add the heck of it. Because why? That is the day that you know that you came from a consolidation of just up and downs, on doing nothing. So the day that he wants to run all these, strong mode, higher high, and even close strong into EOD, and after hours, you want to make sure that you're taking that chance of that run that you should be running pre-market and next day. So like I say, don't hesitate to make sure you keep your eyes on these tickers. All of them are on the daily reset. Many tickers are on the matching pattern. So do not think that you're sitting on the bad tickers. Just know that we just kind of eventually just it took turn. He swifted in the momentum because he kept going up. But now we're running a bullish mode. So just don't be afraid of being emotional controlled over this pretty much pattern. Just know what you're seeing, know what you're looking, and what you're attacking. You're gonna notice that most of these tickers, CTRM, ACST, SNDL, NSPR, and all these tickers, BIOL, they're coming with good news. Even good news is coming in. It's not like bad news is coming in. It's actually good news. So we're pretty much looking at this as long term. It's not, it's not like we just don't know what we're doing. Like we came from 30 cents most of the stickers. So just hold and follow a plan. Stick to the plan. Do not sell until you get your correction. If you sell your correction, you're selling into the potential that correction could even run up the level that you even sold for. And you're gonna feel like you regret it and not holding and so on and so on. So please, like I say, you can eventually, even if you don't recover your full money, you can eventually recover a heck of a lot of money back, but just waiting. So just wait and be patient with it. Overall, like I said, SPI all times high for me, in my opinion, still has bullish. All this momentum, all these tickers that I showed you and all the ones that we're in, they should reverse and they should be running bullish mode later in time. We're going to find a perfect exit, but we actually have to be patient right now to wait for the right time to exit. We cannot exit at the level that we are, at the direction or at the emotional level that we are right now. We just cannot. That it doesn't make sense to sell at the level that it could just bounce out of nowhere so quick, right? So, like I said, be patient until you get your correction. And this is something like a short video. I don't want to go over how we're gonna, look for correction, how we expect corrections and levels and all that. That is just a different video. But for now, just this, and then I hope this helps team. And then, like I said, we're gonna pretty much wait on what happens in the next couple of weeks, or especially week. Just know that we are expecting a huge, strong reverse short squeeze for many of our tickers. So be ready because, yeah, that's going to be our only chance to really, get out in profit before we have to wait again. Or, we don't have to wait again on this ticker. We can look for fresh momentums again. So right now we're already in fresh momentums because they're already on reset. So wait on that and wait in the corrections, and we should be able to find a perfect action and potentially even run into an amazing profit in the long-term play, based on higher highs intentions and momentum. So everyone have a good day, and I guess I'll see you next time. Peace.